exhausting.
Why?
Because I had to go to a game. It was boring.
Why was it boring? You didn't have any fun. It was a game.
I know, but it was boring because I was there all the way through.
What kind of game was it?
A hockey game.
Oh, that seems boring.
No.
You don't like games either? Why? So what do you do?
Good morning, class.
Good morning.
How was y'all's weekend?
Good.
Good.
I heard about your hockey game. Oh well. Okay, so today we're going to be going over dividing fractions. And dividing fractions, I'm going to help you solve problems with two fractions dividing a little bit easier by teaching you guys the keep, change, flip strategy. And so this is going to help you when you have a word problem in math and you have two fractions and you see the division sign and then you start to panic because you're like, oh no, I don't know how to do this. Okay, well this strategy is going to help you change some things around and then it's going to allow you to solve the problem easier. So what we're going to do today is I am going to hand out a clue sheet, okay? And this clue sheet is an example of dividing fractions, and it tells you step by step what to do, okay? So as I'm writing on the board, I'd like for you guys to copy down as I'm copying down, and then that way we'll go through the problem together, okay? So K stands for keep. K stands for what?
Keep.
And you are always going to keep the first fraction. Which fraction are you always going to keep?
The first.
The first. Thank you for raising your hand. Okay. So now we have the C. C equals change. Okay. Now the change. You are only going to change the division sign. Okay. The division sign is going to be changed into a multiplication sign. What sign are you changing?
The division
Multiplication sign.
You're changing the division sign to a
Multiplication sign.
multiplication sign. Perfect, okay? And the last one we have is F. F stands for flip, okay? So you're gonna have two fractions when you're dividing. Okay, the second fraction is the one that you're going to flip. This means you're going to take the denominator and put it on top, and the numerator, you're going to put it on the bottom. Okay, so when you flip your fraction, which number goes on top?
The denominator.
The denominator. And which fraction goes on the bottom?
The numerator.
The numerator. Perfect. Okay, so while we're looking at our clue sheets that I just handed to you, it shows an example, okay? And we're gonna go through that example together. That way you guys have an idea of what this is gonna look like. So, your first fraction is going to be 3/5. So go ahead and write that down. 3/5 is your first fraction. And then we have our division sign. Let me grab another color. That one doesn't show up too well. There we go. And then we have our division sign. And then we have our second fraction, which is 2/3. Okay? So now let's start with our strategy. Which letter comes first?
K.
K.
K. Okay? So K stands for what? Keep. Okay? So are we keeping our first fraction?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, do you have a question?
I don't get this.
Okay, so we're going to go over it we're barely starting, okay? So follow along with me, and then if you still have questions, I'll definitely help you out, okay? So the first fraction, like Clarissa said, we're gonna keep it. So does that mean we do anything to this fraction?
No.
No. Okay. So now we go to the next letter, which is C, and C stands for change. Now, what are we changing? Yes.
The numerator and the denominator.
Not so fast. What are we changing?
The division sign.
The division sign. What are we changing the division sign to?
Multiplication.
Multiplication sign, okay? So we're just going to change that to an X, and the X stands for multiplication. Okay? And now the last one, we have our second fraction, right? Our second fraction, what do we do with that one? It's okay.
We flip it.
We flip it. So that means what? What does it mean by flipping?
The 3 goes on top and the 2 goes on bottom.
Right. We have the 3 on top and the 2 on bottom. And this fraction we didn't change. Okay? So now that we've already applied our strategy, keep, change, flip, in order to solve our problem, all we have to do is multiply across. Okay? So from the first fraction, we're going to go across this way, and the denominator across this way. So we have 3 times 3, which equals 9. And then we have 5 times 2, which equals
10.
10. Now, the last step would be to simplify. But looking at our fraction, our answer, 9/10, we can't simplify it any more than what it already is. So that would be our answer. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over another one. And this time I'm going to talk you through it. And you guys just follow along with me, okay?
Okay.
So the problem that we're going to do is actually the problem that's on your clue sheet. So we're going to have 2 8s, divided by 3/4. So if I were in your position and I'm thinking, man, how am I going to solve this problem? I'm going to go, oh, I can use the keep, change, flip strategy. So I'm going to go with my K first, and my K stands for keep. So I know that I have to keep my first fraction. If my first fraction is 2 8, I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to keep it the same. And then, since I've done my K, I have to go to C. C equals change. And change means that I have to change my division sign to a multiplication sign. So I'm going to bring this down and change it to an X, because I'm going to multiply now. And then my last step for keep, change, flip is to flip my second fraction. 3/4 is my second fraction. So when I flip that, I need to put the denominator on top and the numerator on bottom. So I'm going to put the 4 on top and the 3 on the bottom. Now I'm going to multiply across. And if I multiply 2 times 4, that gives me 8. And then if I multiply 8 times 3, that gives me 24. 4. Now, looking at my answer, 8 over 24, that means I have to simplify it. And I'm going to simplify it by 8 because 8 is the biggest number that'll go into 8 and 24 equally. So 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 24 divided by 8 is 3. So my new answer is going to be 1/3. Okay? So now, since I've gone over 2 different problems, examples with you all, I'd like for you all to write down the next fraction that I'm about to give you, and then you guys will work on it on your own, okay? And I'm going to be walking around answering any questions that you have, and also you can use your clue sheet because that's what it's for, okay? Your clue sheet tells you what to do with each of your fractions. So let's go with the problem 1/5 times 2/6.
Times or divide?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Divide, because we're dividing our fractions. Divide. So go ahead, try to figure this out on your own. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll be walking by so that I can help you out. Don't forget, use your clue sheet to help you answer the problem. Okay? You doing okay? Yes.
Can we use our fingers?
Of course. What do you need to use your fingers on?
That.
Okay. So remember, now let's use the K. K equals keep. So this is our first fraction. We're going to keep the first one, right? According to your notes right here, keep the first fraction. Okay? So do we do anything to this fraction? No. Okay, so let's rewrite it right here. Good job,
Sorry.
Gina. I like the way you're using your clue sheet.
Thank you.
So all you're going to do is bring 1/5 down and rewrite it.
So 1 on top and 5 on the bottom.
Exactly. Good job, Clarissa. Now don't forget, once you get down to the bottom, if you can simplify it, don't forget to simplify. Okay. So now we have the C for change. Change means what?
To change it.
We're going to change it, okay? We're going to change the division sign to a multiplication sign, okay? So you've already changed that. And now we have the last letter,
F.
F. F equals
Flip.
flip. So we need to do what to our second
Flip
fraction?
that over. So
X.
it's 6 on top and 2 on bottom.
Exactly. So go ahead and rewrite that. That's such a good job.
What is that supposed to be?
So this is showing you how you simplify it. So here, the last problem that we did right here, we had 8 over 24. And then, just 1 minute, okay? And then we simplified it. So we got 1/3 as our final answer. So when you have your answer, if you can simplify it, make sure that you simplify it, okay?
I flipped it over.
Good job. Okay, so now we have to multiply across. Okay, so we're going to go this way to this way and from here this way. Okay, so what is 1 times 6? If I did 1 times 6, that gives me how many?
7.
Count my fingers. So that gives you how many? 6. Good job. So write 6 right there. Now, if you have 5 times 2, okay? So this means you have 2 5s, okay? So here's 1 5, and here's another 5. So how many is that?
10.
10. Good job. So you have 6 over 10. Good job. Okay, so it kind of looks like we're almost done. Good job. Regina has her simplified answer. 6. Okay, we're still struggling a little bit with the simplify. Okay, so what happens here is, does 8 go into 6? No, right? Okay, so don't worry about it. Let's work it together, and then we can get to that simplifying part together, okay? Because I know that's confusing you guys a little bit. So, what do I do first?
You
Keep
the
it.
first fraction.
Keep the first fraction. Okay, and then?
You
Change.
change
the
the division sign to a multiplication sign.
Good job, Clarissa. And then the last one?
Flip the fraction.
Flip the fraction, and so it becomes what?
6 over 2.
6 over 2.
6 over 2. Good job. Now, we already applied keep, change, flip. Now what do we do?
You multiply them across.
Multiply across, and I get what?
6 over 10.
6 over 10.
6 over 10. All right. Look at you guys. You're on your way to dividing all kinds of fractions. Okay, so now we have to do one more step. We have to what to our fraction?
Simplify.
We have to simplify. Okay, now in order to simplify, we need to find the number that goes into both 6 and 10, okay, without going over. So let's try, Regina, I saw that you simplified. What number did you use?
2.
2. So we'll go ahead and use 2 like Regina used, okay? So 6 divided by 2 is
3.
3. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that is our new answer. Good job, guys. With a little bit more practice, you guys are definitely on your way. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Pat on the back, pat on the back.